It is so wonderful. I feel like I'm having a family reunion because on the side is basically all of my family right now. So thank you all for coming this morning. This morning, my topic is a permanent mindset and a temporary dwelling place. I'll say it again. A permanent mindset and a temporary dwelling place. And it's from Genesis chapters 37, 39, and chapter 40. Jacob had 12 sons, but of the 12 of his sons, there was one that was different. And everybody knows who that one was. That was Joseph. He didn't quite understand what was happening to him, but amazingly, his brothers were able to see that something was different. Anybody have that experience at home? You don't know your worth, but your sisters, your brothers, your uncles, your cousins, your friends in school can see something about you that's different from them, but they don't push you. What do they do instead? Say it again? They try to destroy you. Not that they want to, you know. It's something in us. If we're not taught how to build each other, the only thing we're going to do is destroy each other. So they noticed that Joseph was different. The big thing was he was able to dream, but he didn't understand his dreams. And we have the same problem today. A lot of our children are dreaming, you know. They have so much that they're saying, but we're so busy with everything else. Mommy, guess what? I had this dream. Or, Mommy, I think I can do this. Okay, talk to me. Tell me later. Tell me when we're going from school, or we find all kinds of reasons that we don't have the time to listen. So what happens? After a while, they don't talk to you about their dreams anymore. Am I correct? They just stop. So sometimes instead of us being the dream builders, we are actually the dream killers. There is a mindset that you have to have, that you know that that is something that God gave you to do. So that no matter what is happening around you, whatever the circumstances are, no matter how they change, whatever that is that you know God deposited in you, you have to be able to hold on to that, focus on that, and work that. Because if you don't do it, you're going to lose it. So your permanent mindset becomes temporary, and a temporary dwelling place, and when you leave here, you leave with nothing. And that's a scary thought. At least it's a scary thought for me. When Jacob sent Joseph out to check on his brothers, they already hated him. Because the nerve of this young boy to come and tell us he had a dream. And in the dream, we were basically bowing down to him. Instead of them saying, wow, God must have some really big plans for you. We're going to push you forward. What did they do instead? You can talk back to me. They say it again, Mercedes. They tried to kill his dreams by doing what? Killing him. At least they had a heart. They didn't kill him. They couldn't kill him. That was still their brother. So they sold him into slavery. To him, that may have been the worst experience. But the amazing thing for me is that in spite of the fact that they sold him, he never once wavered in his faith in God. And this boy was only 17. 17. And he was so focused. It was like, okay, God. And the Bible never said he complained. It never said he asked God, why did you put me in this position? He just went with it. Because guess what? That was a part of the process. Because his permanent mindset was focused on God and what God was getting ready to do in his life. Something God deposited, but we get lost in looking at where we are temporarily. On the job, sometimes it's like, I hate my boss. I can't stand her. How many of you said it? Be honest. I can't stand my teacher. She must be hating me. She gives me all this work to do. And you know why we don't know what it is? That's them getting ready to help us to move to the next level. But we're so busy complaining about a little bit of stress we have to go through. We say, you know what? I'm just not going to do any work in this class. The teacher already has a degree. Does it matter to you? To her, you work or not? Doesn't matter. She already has a degree. So, because your mindset isn't properly trained to know what you want from young, so that you can start focusing on that, your mindset is swayed, and you lose your focus. and you have no dream because you let people kill the dream that God put inside of you. When they sold Joseph into slavery, which is where he ended up eventually, he went to another land. He was sold to Potiphar to be the keeper of Potiphar's house. You're 17, you're working on the field, so you know he's stopped, right? You know he built. He looks good.
Yeah.
So this woman sees this boy and says, boy, I gotta have him. So her mind already focusing on how to kill his dream. Because believe it or not, the people who don't know God can see the God in you and can see where you're going. And whatever they can do to stop you, they will do that if they can distract you. She was his main distraction. But you know what he said at 17 years old? I cannot do this to my God. Not to your husband. I can't do this to my God. The relationship I have with him, there is no way I can defile myself and sin against him in this way. So she lied and said he raped her. She went where? Back to another pit. Came out of one pit, went to a palace, and back to another pit. Sometimes that happens in our lives too. You want to hide. And then all of a sudden you wake up one day and say, how did I get here? I remember when I had $20,000 in the bank. What happened? I got a bank account now, there's only $20. Some people have 20 cents. And you looking back, you didn't waste your money. But it's not there. Why? You have to go through some testing periods.
Yes.
When you go through the testing periods, once your mindset is focused on what you know is for you, it doesn't matter what you have or do not have. Once that mindset is connected to God properly, you will rise up to be what God created you to be. If you listen to the naysayers, if you listen and you get upset because of all the struggles on your job, in school, at home, like the butterfly in the cocoon, the butterfly struggles every day to gain his wings. We look in, and everybody can see on the outside what the butterfly is going through. Laughing because you're exposed. But they don't know that on the inside, while they think of what's happening to you on the outside, God is forming you on the inside. So if you have a permanent mindset in your temporary dwelling place, on your job, in your home, school, wherever you are, it doesn't matter what negative things they see about you, you know the work God is doing in you. And one day, when they see you again, it's like, that's the same person. You got your wings. They're so busy watching you struggle, they lost their wings. You heard what I said just now, right?
Yeah.
They're so busy watching you struggle that they don't realize that they themselves are in a cocoon and they need to work inside their cocoon to be able to have that permanent mindset going. The butterfly has a permanent mindset. So no matter who's staring at the butterfly outside, the butterfly knows I need strong wings. I don't just need wings. I need strong wings. So I'm going to struggle in here. I'm struggling here. Doesn't matter. Butterfly gets his wings and the butterfly flies away. Most of us, what happens? We stay where we are because of what people are saying about us. Am I true?
Yeah.
Most people. We could be way ahead based on the things that God showed you from you a little. Everybody got a little dream from God. Either it's buried now or it's completely dead because of things people said to you. Maybe a teacher, maybe a friend, maybe a parent, maybe a sibling, whatever. And the dream died. But sometimes when you're barbecuing, the fire looks like it's dead, but there's a little ember. And you take a stick and you stoke that fire, what happens? That ember, what happens? The fire comes back. So what we need to do now is figure out how to stoke that fire that God deposited in us. How to stoke that fire with that permanent mindset. Everybody came in with a permanent mindset, but got derailed by somebody else. Because we were not as ingrained as Joseph. Remember Samuel? Samuel was so young when he was ingrained with the things of God. God was calling him. He had no idea what was happening. It took Eli to tell him, when you hear the voice again, say, yes, Lord, here am I. You remember that story? Do you know that all of us hear God?
Yes.
But you know what happens? We get so cluttered. Sometimes there's something pulling you. I need you to go over there. But no, I have to run home first. We always have to do something else first. So when God is calling and speaking, you so set in your own mindset and you have to do your things first, you miss the things that He has for you. I learned that the hard way. That's why now my mindset is so set. I don't care what people think about me. Whether they like me or don't like me, it does not matter. Because I know what He put me here for.
Yes.
And since my mindset went back to where He had me in the beginning, the things I do now, sometimes it scares me. Literally, because it brings out all of the gifts that He has in me, whatever they are. Some of us here are great business managers. Some of us are great people builders.
Yes.
Some of us are great money makers. Everybody has a different gift. But you know what happens? How come she could be making $100,000 a year and I'm only making $20,000? Does it really matter? Are you surviving at $20,000? So does it matter she's making $100,000? You have a house. Hers may be bigger. Does it matter? You have a house. Do you follow what I'm saying? So when we allow circumstances and people to make our permanent mindsets confused, we lose our focus. And the things God has for us, we cannot get. No matter what they did to Joseph, he never wavered. His mindset was so set on God, he kept worshiping God in the same way. When he was sent to prison, he was so good. What did they do? He was made the person in charge of all the prisoners. Unbeknownst to him, there were no colleges for him to go to at that time. That was his college right there. God was training him in prison to be the prime minister of Egypt, to deal with situations, to lead people, to organize, to structure this, to structure that. But oh my God, tell one of us to go to Fox Hill now, they're going to take a gun and shoot you. You're done. But how do you know, even the child got that one, how do you know that God doesn't have a purpose for you to be there? The problem though, isn't you going, the problem is us, who's supposed to be the body. We don't help you. But my God, she up in church every Sunday, and that's what she do, and that's where she end up. And he's supposed to be a pastor, and we find all the reasons to do what? Break them down, not build them up. So whether we want to accept it or not, we have killed the dreams of a lot of people. We have killed the permanent mindset of a lot of people by the way we act towards them with certain things that they go through. Let a poor child get pregnant, now you want to kill her. It happens. And I think because I'm older and have more gray hair now, I really don't care. People make mistakes, I still embrace you, it doesn't matter to me. I really, honestly, it doesn't faze me anymore. Before, oh my God, that's a conversation around the dinner table. Everybody did it before, right? Okay, I'm the only imperfect one in here who never discussed people around the dinner table. I'm the only imperfect one in here who never discussed people around the table. Sorry, who discussed them. We have all done it. Yeah. We have all sinned. We have all fallen short. We have all been Joseph's brothers. Yeah. We have all done it. So once we acknowledge that, now we can get a different mindset. What is it that God has given you to do? You don't have to tell anybody. Do the Nike and just do it. They'll see the end result. Yeah. But we so love for people to be able to validate us. God already validated us. That's why Joseph survived. He was validated by God. It didn't matter what they thought about him, nothing. His poor brothers thought they were doing him harm. Not knowing God used them to get Joseph where he needed to be to do what? Deliver the whole nation of Israel. Yes. So sometimes when you go down to rock bottom, you'll be amazed to know why. Because when God brings you up, you may not find out on this side of Jordan, but you'll find out later who was helped by what you went through. It's not about you, it's not about me. Sometimes it's rough for everybody. But if you don't go through it, how are you going to help somebody else? How are you going to be able to say, look here, I can tell you for a fact that God does deliver. that God does work in every situation. If I've never been through a situation, I can't help you. So instead of us whining, when things get tough, if your car breaks down, catch the bus, your legs are still working. Go to the bus stop. You see the lady here in the orange? Ask her how we met. I'm driving home by our old place one Sunday, and she's walking in the rain, trying to get to work. She said her father, she said, drop me by the bazaar. I said, where are you going? She said, I work in Port Macaya. I said, I live in Port Macaya. We're friends now. Look, you follow what I'm saying? We have to know how this thing with God is. It's not this fairy tale that we pretend, we come to church, we have a good time on Sunday, and then we just go home and forget about it. No, it's more than that. One day, you're not going to be here, and I'm not going to be here. All that you're working to acquire here, you can't take it. Live large if you can afford it, as large as you can. Just don't wear it on you, because you have to leave it. Yes. Whatever you can afford to get for yourself, get it. You see my sisters over there? Every Saturday, we out. We go to house sales, we go eat. Sometimes we eat twice in the same day because we eat breakfast and we have to go eat lunch. And we just go wherever. You know why? I don't want to haul up over their casket. I don't want them hauling over mine. We spend enough time together. Cry for me because you're going to miss me, but don't cry because you regret what you didn't do with me while I was here. Joseph's brothers didn't even weep for him. That's what I see in the Bible. They didn't even miss him. After a while, it was like, hey, he's gone. But guess what happened? When things got tough, what happened? That same brother with the permanent mindset that God was calling him to something greater than where he was the same brother they had to go to. And that's the same brother who did what? Deliver them. He delivered them. Where is your mindset? What kind of mindset do you have? Can you deal with the circumstances God is placing in your life now to get you to the place where He wants you to be, not where you think people think you ought to be by now, where God wants you to be? Can you let go of the people? Remember now, we're on the same ship. Some in first class and some to the bottom by the engine, but we're going to the same place. If the boat sinks, the ones in first class just go down last. But they all go down. No, but no, it's the truth. We just go down last, but we all going down. So let's understand where we are. We are here to build each other, not tear each other down. Support each other as much spiritually. Don't tell me you're praying for me and then you forget until you see me again 3 weeks later. No, if you're going to pray for me, write it down so you can call my name because you don't know why I need your prayer. You don't know. So we need to build each other. You may have been the brothers to a Joseph in your family or in your life. That's okay. Get over it. Now you be the Joseph, and no matter what the brother's trying to do to you, you keep your focus on what God has called you to, and you make sure you keep your permanent mindset in whatever temporary dwelling place you find yourself. Thank you.